well-equipped, effective institution to address the challenges of the 21st century. I reaffirm Ethiopia's full support to Your Excellency.
An expression of the deep friendship between our good selves and our good nations. It underscored the strong, long-standing bond of friendship that has so happily existed between Ghana and Kenya, and I look forward to working closely with you to deepen these relationships for the mutual benefit of our two peoples. Your Excellencies, today we gather not just as leaders but as stewards of a vision of an Africa that is united, self-reliant and prosperous. This vision was first articulated by the founders of the Organization of African Unity and later advanced by the establishment of the African Union, and it remains our guiding light and principle. Yet as we stand at the crossroads of opportunity and challenge, we must critically reflect on our progress and recalibrate our strategies to meet the evolving needs of our continent. The reform agenda of the African Union is a bold and necessary initiative aimed at transforming our continental body into a more efficient, financially independent, and effective institution. The African Union, as our collective institution, has achieved remarkable milestones in its journey, and that is from spearheading the African Continental Free Trade Area to advancing peace and security through initiatives such as the African Union Mission in Somalia, AMISOM, and the African Peace and Security Architecture, APSA. The AU has demonstrated its potential as a unifying force. However, the challenges we face today demand more than just incremental progress. They require some bold and transformative reforms. Our continent faces a unique set of challenges: youth unemployment, food insecurity, climate change, governance deficits, and conflicts in many regions. At the same time, we are witnessing global shifts that necessitate a reimagining of Africa's place in the world. The African Union must evolve to become more agile, efficient, and impactful in addressing these new challenges. The AU must streamline its decision-making processes to ensure that they are timely and results-oriented. Bureaucratic inefficiencies undermine the confidence of our citizens and international partners, and overlapping mandates which hinder effective decision-making. By streamlining the AU commissions, clarifying roles, and eliminating redundancies, we can establish a more agile organization that is better equipped to address the evolving needs of our continent. Efficiency must be the guiding principle in how we conduct our affairs, ensuring that our policies and programs translate into real change for our people. We must adopt mechanisms that prioritize accountability, transparency, and value for money, ensuring that every resource is maximized for the benefit of the African people. Your Excellencies, one of the fundamental pillars of reform is AU's financial autonomy. The over-reliance on external partners for funding compromises the organization's independence and ability to set its own agenda. The implementation of the Kigali decision on financing the Union must be expedited. A self-reliant African Union is not just a vision we have, it is an imperative to achieve. Your Excellencies, without peace there can be no development. The AU must strengthen its capacity to prevent, mediate, and resolve conflicts. This includes adequately resourcing the African Standby Force and leveraging partnerships to address emergency threats such as terrorism, cybercrime, and climate-induced displacements. Indeed, this is very important for us, especially in West Africa, considering the challenge we face from terrorism. Africa's future lies in its youth. Over 60% of our population is under the age of 25, and yet their voices are largely absent in policy making. We must institutionalize frameworks that empower our young people and our women to lead at all levels of governance. And I'm happy to report that in the last election, for the first time in Ghana's history, we elected a woman as our vice president. The energy of our youth, creativity and vision are the drivers of the Africa that we all seek to build. The African Continental Free Trade Area has set the foundation for a single African market, but much work remains to be done. We must address the barriers to trade, we must harmonize regulatory framework and invest in infrastructure to unlock the potential of intra-African trade. Additionally, the AU must champion technological innovation and digital transformation as catalysts for economic growth and inclusion. And in this, we wish that the African payment system that allows us to pay seamlessly for goods traded between our countries is expedited so that we can have a system of exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, none of these reforms will succeed without committed leadership at every level of the African Union. We as heads of states and governments have a duty to lead by example, to prioritize the collective good of our people over our parochial interests, and to act decisively in the interest of our continent. But leadership does not end with us. The Union must foster partnerships with civil society, the private sector, and the African diaspora, whose contributions are vital in shaping and implementing reforms. This is a shared responsibility, and together we can achieve the African Union we all envision. To achieve a conflict-free Africa, we must strengthen the Africa Standby Force and enhance our collaboration with regional economic communities. A well-coordinated and responsive security mechanism will allow us to address conflicts swiftly without over-reliance on external actors. Additionally, good governance, respect for human rights, and the consolidation of democracy must remain at the heart of our efforts to maintain stability and peace across our dear continent. The winds of change are blowing across the African continent, and the world is watching. Let us rise to the occasion not just as participants in history, but as architects of a brighter future. Together we can and will shape a stronger, more resilient, and more united Africa. This retreat presents an opportunity for candid dialogue and bold action. Let us approach our discussions with open minds and a shared commitment to progress. The reforms we champion here are not merely procedural. They are about the future of our people, the realization of Agenda 2063, and Africa's rightful place on the global stage. Let us leave here united in our resolve to build an African Union that truly reflects the aspiration of the African people, a union that is capable of meeting the challenges of today and the opportunities of tomorrow. In closing, I wish to reiterate Ghana's strong commitment to strengthening ties with Kenya and all other African nations in the spirit of Pan-Africanism and mutual progress. The long-standing board of cooperation between Ghana and Kenya continues to flourish, and I'm confident that our collaboration will yield even greater benefits for our two peoples. Together we can build an Africa that is resilient, prosperous, and united in its pursuit of sustainable development and lasting peace. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for your attention, and I look forward to a fruitful deliberation. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of the opening session of the retreat. We shall now transit to the closed session, and my colleagues from Rwanda and Tunisia will make their statements at the closed session. So you will be guided by protocol, and those who will not be in the closed session, you'll also be guided as the closed